tool is that? I'm just going to tie a little Grannom or caddis emerger. So I'm putting curved shank hook in the vise, size 14. Bit of wax on the thread. This is quite fine. This is Vivus 40, you know, it's very fine. Thread's olive, but I don't think it matters. Grey would do, brown would do, because it's not visible to the fish once you've tied the fly. Tie it in just behind the eye of the hook. A few turns to catch the thread. Nip off the butt. And then continue winding in nice tight close turns, slightly round the bend, using the curve of the hook to simulate the emerger. Then you want a strand of grey polypropylene yarn, and you need to split it. This is far too much for a fly of this size, so you want to split it to a fairly, that's a bit too much. That's quite enough. This just makes a little shuck at the tail of the fly. Tie it in a couple of turns and then just trim the end. It shouldn't be any longer than the body of the fly itself. Then a strand of pearl mylar, which will be ribbing the body. Tie that one in, and you can cut the butts of your polypropylene yarn about a third of the way back from the eye of the hook. Then you make a dubbing body, bit of soft brown fur. Spread it out nicely, dub it on your silk, not too thick. That should be about enough. Just wind that over the butts of the tinsel and the butts of the and if it comes off a bit, just pull it off and dub a bit more. Don't take it too far up. I'll pull the rest of it away now. Then rib the body, open turns, tie in your ribbing tinsel, cut him off tight, then use the same bit of grey polypropylene yarn to make an underwing, and it doesn't want to be too long, not quite the length of the body I would say. Tie that in on top, that's fine. Leave the butt sticking out, then take a bit of roe deer hair, nice bit of roe deer hair, beautiful natural colour. Just take a little pinch, not too much. Cut that off nice and tight from the skin. Just hold the tips and brush it through with your fingers to get the soft underfur out. Then into the hair stacker. Just even up the tips. Nice. Then hold that on top of the hook and let the tips go just a tiny bit longer than the underwing. Now take a little bit of grey squirrel fur, bit of natural grey squirrel, there's no shortage of them about. Just pinch a bit off, make sure you've got some underfur in it. Then dub that on the thread just to make a bit of a thorax, and the guard hairs stick out to form a few legs and general scruffiness of a newly hatched fly. Then lift your wing up, do a few turns under the wing, make a whip finish there. Three turns should be enough. Draw him nice and tight. Cut your thread, and then the butts form a head, much like an elk hair caddis. Just pull them all forwards and trim them off just level with the eye. And one gone astray there. There he is. We'll just put a bit of varnish. Bit of varnish just on the thread turns. You'll always get some varnish over the eye of the fly, so use a hackle feather, just push it through the eye. And draw it through. That takes any varnish out, so when you're fishing you can tie the fly on when you want. There he is, little Grannom emerger.